right. Welcome to the Lion's Den.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
All right. This Kanal's favorite subject, man. He brought this subject up today because he said he see a lot of y'all fools out there with them scallywags, as we like to say. The scallywags. So that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. So does race matter when you date a bride? Kanal, go ahead, brother. I'm gonna let you take this from me.
Well, I mean, guys, let's not be delusional here. I think it's important to understand that race does matter across the globe. It's funny how people love to call the United States the Matrix, not understanding the true meaning of the Matrix. And this whole notion that, hey, I have my passport. I'm going to overseas, and you black women gonna regret treating me bad because I'm gonna find me a fit, feminine, and friendly chica or whatever, depending if you're in Asia, Africa, Europe, whatever. And one thing to keep in mind is that I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've been extremely observant. I've gone to the Big Four, and just in case if some of you guys don't know what is the Big Four, Felix, do you know what is the Big Four is?
Thailand, Colombia, DR. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing?
You know damn well one of them is missing. Go ahead and say it.
I'm missing. You tell me who the Big Four.
Oh man, the Dominican Republic. Yo, man. But anyways, I've been traveling around and Fearless, please, I understand you always want to battle me, you want to go against me. You're gonna have to agree with me on this one. I've seen a lot of brothers overseas dealing with mud ducks. Like the lowest of the lowest totem pole. Like really, you pack your bags, you took your PTO, got your vacation money, your credit card, your debit card to fly overseas to deal with mud ducks. I've seen this happen many, 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 many times. And these are probably the same guys that jump on these podcasts and just talk shit about American women. They talk negative about women having kids, yet they go overseas and deal with women who have kids. They say they talk about the overweight, American diet, whatever, but yet they go overseas and deal with overweight chicks in those countries. They talk about American women have nasty attitude and so on and so. They go to these other countries and get stabbed by their girlfriends. So where's the lie in all of this? I think personally, and again, this is a two-way subject. One, does race matter? That's the first part of the topic, and the second topic is, do white travelers get better chicks than black men?
All right, I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback. I'm gonna play this. The first one is what a white guy would choose. The second one will be what a brother would choose, and we're gonna talk about it. So let's see this. So this is Brad. This Tyrone. You see that difference? We'll play it one more time for the ones that didn't see. Brad, Tyrone. So here goes the problem. In Thailand, or say that's an Asian country, let's just talk about that. The Tyrone chick would not be considered cute. She's not going to be considered top class there. She's thicker. She got too much weight. Her complexion may be a little bit darker. So she, in their country, is going to be perceived as lower class. Now, the problem is that's what brothers want. That's what they look for. Brothers are going for that. So is it that black guys are getting the worst of the crop? Or is it that our preferences are just different? You on mute. That means you see, they done hushed you up. They already stopping you, brother. You put yourself on mute. You don't want to talk. You muted you muted. You muted.
My bad.
Yeah, look at that. He was going off.
Hey man, listen. Last time around we had a debate, you call your goons to jump on me. So this time around, none of your goons can say shit what I gotta say. And I got receipts. I'm like, no, you travel way down there for that. But you know what? Beauty is subjective.
Let me ask you. Do you think, now you've been around the world, I've seen, Actually, I took some pictures, but I said, well, out of respect to the new young lady, I won't post them. I took some snapshots of your Facebook, and you had some women on your Facebook. Now, my question to you is, would Brad date those women?
I'm not sure because I don't know how Brad operates. You know, Brad tend to have a unique taste. One minute they want this, one minute they will do something extreme, the opposite. So I don't know. I believe I've always positioned myself to date more of the mid tier, upper tier class. But you know, I do dabble in the fuckery sometimes at the lower level. But at least at the lower level, I'm picking baddies. I'm picking like fantasies. And one thing is, look, I can say this. One of my mentors, tribal mentors, put me on game. He said, fuck your fantasy. If you understand it. It took me a while to understand that. It's like, because first when he said it, I thought he was like, fuck your fantasy. Like, don't worry about it. And like, no, fuck your fantasy. Whatever fantasy it is, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, you can't spend a lot of money on a scallywag, man. I mean, that's you can't. That's just not how it works. You know, if you're going to have something, you got to kind of put some money into it because you're saying, hey, I'm paying for this. I want what I want. But here's the thing, though. See, I don't think that you can say race matters, but if me and Brad go to the same place, what Brad looking for ain't nothing what I'm looking for. And the sad thing is, I mean, because race does matter, a lot of people of color may not be in the upper echelon of those countries.
I mean,
So
taking this in a more serious tone, like when race does matter, I think you being American matters more than your race. Being American more overseas matters than your race. So at times they see a black person, they don't know what you are. They don't know if you're Caribbean, American, or African. They don't know. But one thing I know for sure, like the places that I've been to, all the blacks were at the lowest tier. And all the immigrant blacks, the Africans that were in these countries were treated like like no class. I seen it in my own eyes. So it's just like, does race matter or does you being American matter? Because one thing is, as a black man, you traveling across Europe, Asia, even Africa, you're gonna be looked at. You're gonna be followed. I've been followed plenty of times in these countries, in the store. People assumed that I was African, so they wanted to check my damn passport. Yeah. So again, and also too, when we go into what if race matter, color matter as well. If Fearless and I were to travel together, he'll be treated a certain way versus I'll be treated.
and Ronan even be treated better than me. Shout out to Ronan.
Well, you know, I'm just saying it just like when I hear guys say just grab your passport and you go, you go to these countries. Yeah, what's drawing the attention is you being American. It's not you being a black man.
Now, I will say this: if let's just take Thailand. If I go to Thailand and I'm looking for that type echelon girl, she's gonna be thinner.
Yep.
She's, even if you go to DR, if you go back to DR and look at the women who won like Miss Universe,
They're all thin.
they thin. They not the women you seeing in the clubs with all that body.
I'll say this, and speaking of DR, because I am a frequent traveler to DR. I have invested activities in DR. One thing I've noticed in the Dominican Republic, the upper notch of society, their women do not look nothing like a BBL. A lot of them are just slim, not curvy. Like all that curvy stuff that you guys fantasize going to these countries, those are not considered desirable to a certain group of people. So again, does race matter or does your color, your skin matter?
Yeah. Them girls have bodies, but it's not that. It's not that body. That's the difference. I say, man, does race matter? So if I am in DR and I'm trying to get that upper echelon woman,
you'll get that person before I do.
And then Brad to get away before I will.
Yeah. So basically, I'm the lowest totem pole of all of this. So it's just again,
is that everywhere, or is that you think that's in DR? Would that be Thailand?
I would say this. all the white countries you be treated a certain way
All
before
right, I'm
you
gonna
open your
ask you
mouth.
this then. Let's do this. You ain't never been to a country when they was like, damn, that chocolate man over there. Boy, I ain't had no
Yeah.
chocolate man. He big, shoot. I'm ready to find out if what they say about black men are true. So you ain't never got with a
No.
chick.
Plenty of times. Actually, most countries where I've been to, they always complimented my skin color. And so no. I mean, shit, it happened in Thailand, bro. I was in freaking Chiang Mai. I walk into the damn club. I'm the only black dude in the club because I'm in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is about 2.5 hours away from Bangkok. And I was the only black skin. I mean, dark skin, black American dude. No African, nobody. I was the only person. If you want to throw a rock, you'll find me. And when I walked in, I've shared the pictures in my group, Facebook group, Black Man Travels group. I'm not gonna post it up here because I ain't gonna put the business out there like that too crazy. But this half Australian, half Thai chick. She's mixed. She's mixed. Man, when I said that Australian side on an Asian body, whoo, man, and bro, it's just like to see an Asian built that way, and she does roller derby. Like her legs and calves was huge.
I'm gonna show this other thing, and I show this because this is letting you know that two men can be in the same place, and we look at a girl, and it's two different people. On the left side, I want to know if this is what the brothers would be attracted to. Both white women now. We looking at the whites. And it used to be when I was growing up, a white chick that looked like this girl on the left. No white dudes wanted her. She only could date brothers. Now they kind of trying to come over. But if we go to the gym, let's just say we're gonna go to the gym together. Who you choosing? Because who you choose is not who they choose. I just like that off. I ain't know have music in the background, so we might have to block that one out. But do you see what black dudes go for? Now the thinner white chick, she was fit. Nothing wrong with her. Fit body, thin. That's what they look for. But brothers don't go for that, man. We go for them thick girls, and the difference is usually in other countries, thickness is not celebrated as something that people do when they got wealth.
I agree.
It's looked at obese, man. You want a thin woman, fair skin. That's looked at as top echelon.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, again, just going back again, if you're traveling across Europe or traveling across Asia, you're gonna be looked at a certain way, and it's not always favorable. It is what it is because the thing is, there are Africans all over the world, and there's already a perception of what black people are. So when you go there, until you open your mouth, they kind of consider you like less than, or even like, I mean, you can give me some pushback on that. I mean, I it's something that I've noticed during my travels, and again, I don't take offense to it because I do acknowledge race plays a role in everyday society. But when you actually travel and say, "Hey, there's no racism, or there's no prejudice, or they're gonna love all black men," I mean, you're being delusional with that.
There was somebody in your chat today saying that, what you worried about another man for, because it's perception, man. We get a perception that we the scallywags, man. We are the scallywags. I'm gonna play this. I put it on your chat, and it's a Saturday Night Live skit. It's a skit, but like I say, every time you have a joke, there's some truth in that. And this is what they really think about us, brother.
An obese monkey in Thailand named Godzilla has been sent to a special facility to lose weight. Officials realized the monkey was overweight when a bunch of black guys kept hitting on it. So
imagine that, man. He in Thailand, and they say overweight because all the brothers in Thailand are going to these chunky chicks. And so it's like, that's how we know it's overweight, because the brothers are attracted to it. So that's what they think about us, man. That we like them thick, nobody else want them, the throwaways. And when you go there, I mean, it's crazy, because when I went to Thailand and I seen the chicks, I was like, oh man, she cute, got a body. It was like she was thrown out by brothers. It was just like that. She was already used up. Any of them chicks you've seen that you would think that's the kind of Thai chick I want, she's already been ran through by every brother in Fatia. That's just how.
I mean, just to piggyback the stuff that I saw in Thailand, brothers literally banging the same chicks.
Oh, yeah.
They follow the same chicks. They're banging the same ones. And the girls that they do wife up, they're not the best looking ones, man. Like, you could have easily gone to Oakland or San Francisco for that. I'm just saying.
But even if you go to other countries, man, why? All right, brothers, let's say I'm not trying to be on Kanaw's side, but I
mean, you are. It's okay, Fearless. It's okay. We can agree on some things.
You agree?
Wait, hold up, Fearless. You seen some fuck shit out there, so you know damn well. Come on, you cannot deny that, man.
I've seen brothers travel all the way over there, and I'm like, bruh, I know you didn't come over here for this. You in the land of milk and honey. You got fine women. And this sad thing is, if you're paying, it's probably the same price. It's probably the same price. If not, maybe $20 more. Brother, you can spend $20 more and have something nice. Why you going with that $25 chick that is just hideous, man? So that's what messed me up. That I seen brothers with some hideous chicks and they putting them up like they all that. I mean, look, every brother somewhere got some ugly chick. We all got an ugly chick somewhere. I have an ugly chick somewhere, but you ain't gonna never see me posting a picture of her. I ain't gonna never put her up there like we together. And if she came to me when I was out somewhere and she like, remember me, I'm gonna be like, I don't know who you are, huh? Fearless. I don't know. Hey, I'm playing stupid. That same chick, these dudes be smiling with, camera with, and I'm like, bruh, you making us look bad. You making us look bad. Because here's the thing. I can understand if you couldn't get a chick, but this is a pay for play. You can't spend your hard-earned money on something that bad, man. Come on.
Oh man, look. I mean, again, just going back to the topic again, guys. Does race matter? Dating abroad, it does. You got to be realistic on the social climate of these countries. If they currently treat their own minority like a second-class citizen based on their skin color, what makes you think you're gonna be widely accepted? Now, granted, there's a lot of black, countries you could go to and explore your dating option. Bro, when I was in South Africa, I had a blast as a single guy. It was easy. And again, not easy as easy, but it was just going up, talking, conversation, date, have a good time.
What is it about us, man, that we gravitate toward that? I'm gonna try to find somebody, because I had met him over in Thailand. I wanted to have him on a call, but I bet I don't have him anymore. Man, she's called herself a thick model, and she was all of what she said she was. I think she deleted her account. Why is it that we go over there and we try to attract, or we attracted to that element, man? I mean, I seen dudes just go from the hood in New York to the hood in DR or the hood in Colombia. It's just like they comfortable around that hood element. The same tattooed up with fingernails coming out this long, butterfly eyelashes, and I'm like, this isn't even what you want in the United States. Why would you deal with this in another country?
And that's why I always go in on these passport guys out there, always bashing American women. But bro, you take that same energy and do it over there in that country, and it's not like your dating options got better. It looks pretty much the same. So when we are critical with our own situation, yet you travel to go deal with somebody else's situation. So it's just like, I don't know. I mean, again, I recognize race when I'm traveling. When I get on that plane, I'm a black man. Sometimes I'm probably the only black dude on that damn flight, and people looking at me like I'm not supposed to be there. But also, too, I could go to an environment where they may just embrace me. Like, yo, we want to take pictures with you. We want to buy you drinks. It all depends where you go, but I'm not delusional to the fact that I am a black man while traveling.
But here's the thing, man. Somebody said we look for the low hanging fruit in the chat. That can be if you're trying to get with a chick. But if you buying a chick, why are you buying a low hanging fruit? Why are you buying the worst fruit there is? If you get on an app and you like, yeah, man, everybody, it's like this. You buy a pair of shoes, all of them shoes cost $100. And you're like, yeah, give me them rough, beat up ones over there that's all jacked up. The heel, the toe of them going way up like this. That's the one I want. I want to wear that. I cannot conceive that, man. And we will be dropping a link. Oh, no, I'm not speaking. My man, I don't want to keep reading it. He said I'm speaking to the minority. Brother, in Thailand, that is the majority. If you go to DR, you go to Sosua, that is the majority. I've been there, and guys, listen, on all the chat y'all go to, in your chat, Kanal, somebody say, man, I don't know why I came to Santo Domingo, man. It's boring here.
Oh, man.
What's
when
boring?
I hear
Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm saying when I hear that, man, I laugh in their face. Like, how you cannot find that, especially there's all over the place. So it's what it is, man.
We want to get your opinion, man. We really want to get your opinion, and we want to see receipts if you got them. And don't try to tell us you dating the top 10, because we know who you are. You ain't dating the top 10.
Yo. Listen, just like I said, man, a lot of you damn incels out there, a lot of you guys that always just jump on different podcasts back to back to back to back and just continue to soap about your issues. Bro, do better, man. That's all I got to say.
Now, let's see. We got a super chat from my brother. Race Plays, and this is from Vlog Tripping. Please go to his YouTube channel. Brother got some good content. Make sure you shout out. Go there to Vlog Tripping. Trini from Trinidad. Race plays a role to races. Beauty is in the eye.
Wait, does he actually believe that mess that he just wrote?
I think he does.
Okay.
I think he does. Is it an eye beholder, or is it just is it a blind guy? And here the sad part, I'm gonna tell y'all something crazy. There's a dude called the Blind Traveler. You seen him?
Yes. I've seen his live with BMT.
This brother got better looking chicks than most of y'all that got eyesight, man. How can the brother who is blind find better women than you guys that got eyesight? That was a new one to me, because I seen him and the girls around him, they looking pretty, they beautiful, fit, all of that. And he can't even see what they look like, man. And you're picking these chicks that's ugly. Make it make sense to me, man. Please make it make sense. Oh my goodness, man. Let's see. We'll you want to bring up Trini, because we'll bring up a few guys, see what they got to say. Anybody else you want to come up, please throw something in the super chat. See if you're dealing with them ugly chicks also. That's what I think. That's what I think it is.
I mean, again, just going back, I'm not ignorant to the fact, and I'm fully aware that I'm a black man. And I'm a black man traveling around the world where I should not be doing that. Sorry, guys. My kid is right next to me, man.
That's all right.
The baby's crying. Yeah, anyways, I understand when I'm traveling, man. Look, people gonna see me as a black man with a passport, traveling the world, and they're gonna be curious. Some people may not want me to be there. And trust me, I've experienced hate because I was out with with a lovely lady of the opposite race. I felt the hate overseas. I felt that.
Really? I never. I'm trying to think, man. I've never. I don't remember feeling the race anywhere. When I'm overseas, I've never. I can't remember that, man. That I felt the race.
No. I was saying I felt the energy from the men.
Yeah, I'm saying that. I've never.
No, it's not even filtered. It's like you can sense it, but I'm still gonna have a great time. It doesn't matter. But you have to understand that not everyone's gonna be pleased in what they see.
I think I felt it more being the gringo than the race.
Okay.
You know, where it's like, you know, why you want him? You know, what is it? What is it about the American that you? But I never seen it where it was like the skin color. Now, I mean, I have seen, like, I've seen it when I've gone overseas. I see how a lighter skinned chick, you know, gets it over a dark skinned chick. You know, I've seen all that, but that other part I haven't. Let me read this super chat out because we win. That's right. Light skin is in, baby. You know, y'all had your time. Y'all had your what was that? Wesley Snipes, Michael Jordan time. Y'all took the Al B. Shore time. Then y'all came in and swooped us off. We couldn't do nothing. But now it's Steph Curry. Light skin is in, baby. Rona know what's up. You know, salute to the light skinned brothers. We coming back in style. That's right. We coming back. We come back. Let me bring up Blog Tripping for a question. Let's see. Blog Tripping. How you doing today, sir?
Mic check, mic check. Y'all can hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I forgot to play my music.
Well, I was gonna play my music. Hold on. I'm gonna test out something real quick.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta do it.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Before you play, man, I'm sorry because I have to do this just because
what you doing?
Seated. So please take a moment for this 1 minute break. Understand, fellas.
Warning, some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing.
Welcome to the Lion's Den podcast. Before we dive into today's episode, we have a brief disclaimer to share. The views and opinions expressed by the guests on the Lion's Den podcast are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Lion's Den podcast, its hosts, or affiliates. All content provided by our guests is of their opinion and is not intended to malign anyone or anything. Additionally, by participating in the Lion's Den podcast, our guests grant permission for their likeness, voice, and views shared during the podcast to be recorded and used in future episodes, promotional materials, and any other content produced by the Lion's Den podcast. This permission is granted without any expectation of compensation or royalties. Thank you for understanding, and we hope you enjoy today's episode of the Lion's Den podcast.
You know what?
Y'all? What's that?
I feel like you being funny right now.
I really feel like y'all being funny right now.
My brother.
So
what do you think? Man? You've been in Africa. So let's talk about Africa. Africa's the, you know.
Let's start with Thailand. Let's start because Thailand is fresh in my mind real quick. And that's why I met the good brother Kunal. Was in Thailand, was in Bangkok, was in Pattaya. We had a great time.
And I'm gonna read a cash app when you finish. I got a cash app. I need to read that out to my
read the cash app. Money comes first.
Okay, yeah.
Read that.
All right. You know, whenever I get a cash app, I got to play more than just a cash app. This one comes from Player with a Passport. My brother said he liked the Boca tie short. Sending $10 out. My brother, when you send that, we got to do something for the light skin man. Where we at? What? You know how we do it over here. Let's see. We got light skin in. Well, because we're talking about light and dark, we're going to give you a mix of the brother. Ooh.
Yeah,
And for the
yeah.
$10, brother, we got to milk this a little bit. So let's milk it just a little bit. Playing with a passport, brother, that is great. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting Black media, man. That's what we here for.
Give an applause for that. Give an applause for that. Yeah, man. So yeah, man, y'all got Kanal as usual talking reckless. You know what I'm saying? I took some notes. You know what I'm saying? So all right, so we know the Caucasian man is the most desired in the world, right? Can we agree on that? He is the most desired, right? That's just, you can run your stats, you can check the dating apps. They are the ones that the women choose, especially foreign when you travel. You know, they are preferred. It could be their skin color, it could be whatever. However, what I witnessed in Thailand in particular, they also get the most finessed. They get taken advantage of. They pay the most. They get their business taken. They get their house taken. They easily manipulated. Those are the ones that get married, and you know the women just finesse them the whole way. And not saying brothers don't get finessed also, but in that situation, they are the minority. It's kind of, you don't hear often or see often of, you know, brothers saying, you know, this foreign woman did this, well, especially in Thailand maybe, and ran off with this and took advantage of them. It doesn't happen as much. And what I was saying in my super chat was that race matters to racists. If they're not open to dating you, then what's the point? Why do they count? You're there for the women that are interested in dating you. And Black American men are not the only Black men that travel. A lot of these men, especially from the motherland, they are dating successfully with these women. They're getting married. They're having kids. And as you travel, you get to see it's not just Black Americans, Black people from all over the globe are also desired. But to Kanal's point, you know, that American passport, the American dollar does weigh in your favor also.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Chat GPT. Now, you know, hey, you can say it can be right, can be wrong. But I asked the question, who gets the better women abroad? White guys or Black guys? And it basically said that white guys are bringing back women that are more educated and in different areas. And Black guys, we're getting socially, economically impoverished people who do not have as high of an education. So do you think that? So if I'm a white guy, you know, a white guy, he's like, shoot, I'm getting somebody with a little bit of money, a little bit of status, somebody who's educated. We just be like, shit, that chick got an ass. That's how we don't care if she graduated school. We don't care. We can't speak the language, so we don't care if she's speaking proper Spanish, proper Thai. We don't care. Look at that ass on her.
Now, Trini, Trini, just
go ahead.
Be honest, man. You just got back from Africa.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Do the white men get the top of the crop versus the Black men in these countries?
You know what I see? They get the most attention. I don't know if they get the best one, but they do get the most attention. So I would go to a club and I would see the Black women basically stalk the white men. I still get my attention also, but it's usually like the attention of 3-on-1. It'll be 3 girls to 1 white man. It'll be 2 girls to 1 white man. And I say that because they usually finance the whole night. They're going to pay more than what an average Black man is willing to pay. So and I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel also. You will see these white guys dancing off beat in the club, and the girls and the bartender, hey, bring me another drink, and give it to her friend. And that's how they have fun for that night. So I believe they get finessed more. I don't think they get the higher caliber of women also because, you know, to their family, you know, you're bringing home a Mzungu. You know what I'm saying? So I think in Africa might be a little bit different, but colorism also takes into play. You know, they want that mixed child. But I think we have more equal chance in the motherland, I would say.
I'll say this: colorism. All 3 of us, we all met in person. We're all 3 different colors, completely different colors from each other. Who will be the first pick, second pick, and bench? When we go to these countries.
What country?
Okay. Anywhere. Okay. Anywhere. Anywhere in the Western world to Asia. Not
That's
Africa, because Africa, I'll win. I'll be king. But I'm talking about anywhere from west all the way to east, not anywhere towards Africa.
I'll see this.
Where will
a lot of them people, if they gonna go with somebody of color, they want to do that fetish. They want, they want the darkest skin brother, because that's their concept. I want that BBC. I want the big black brother. So to me, you would be like that. I'm just a Drake. They like, Drake, he ain't singing no hard thing. We want that Kendrick. That's what they want. So I think, you coming in, you would be somebody like, yeah. Because if here's the thing, if it's a chick that already deals with brothers, I might win. If it's a chick that never dealt with brothers and she just trying to like cross over, be a night rider for the day, that's a little different.
Damn.
See, in Thailand, what I noticed was they study us. Like I had a chick show me like pictures of LeBron James, different actors that they follow on Instagram, and they want that stereotypical look. So I think probably in Thailand, I think me and Kanara might be closer to the stereotype, and they might go for us because that's what they see on media. That's what they see on TV. And to your point, we said the upper echelon, I think every race wants to be with their other race, with their own, correct, right? Yeah. So if you're in a high-end family, and I'm guessing y'all, when I say upper echelon, y'all speaking about people with wealth and status, right? I'm assuming.
No,
right?
Just like more the more attractive types. Like
if it's not wealth and status, I think we all got fair shot for the attractive types. Because you go to Bangkok, and you've been to Bangkok, you go to those rooftops. Yeah. You're fair game. But those women, to me, they're there for black men. They're looking for you. So when you guys say, race this and race that, you're not going to convince a racist to date you. They have to be predisposed to wanting to be with black men in the first place. So that's how I look at that. So if they're looking for the stereotype, yeah, we got it locked because they might look at Fearless and he might not be black enough.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Trini, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you in the back. I'm going to bring Marty McFly up. You're welcome to come back around. I want to get these opinions from you. Go ahead and there you go. I helped him set up his stream deck, so we got to get as much advantage.
I'm lit with my stream deck, man. I'm lit.
Be gone, shut!
All right, brother. Let me bring up Mr. Marty McFly, and Tobias, you're going to be up next. I see you back there, Ronan and Buck also. Mr. McFly, you agree or you disagree with the Lion's Den, my brother?
Oh, man. Well, shoot. All right. Well, what's the biggest disagreement about how white dudes are getting the cream of the crop?
No. All right. The first issue, the first discussion is around does your race play a role dating overseas?
Absolutely.
Does it matter?
Depends on who you're talking to. But it does make
there's just the typical black man going overseas, would he do well in these countries, like honestly, based on the odds and percentages, whatever.
Which country?
Not only would he do well, the second question is, do we choose the bottom of the barrel?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, hey, Marty. Speak on it, man.
All right. Will you do well? Now, if we talk an average, no, it's not happening, which is what you currently see. When you go to places like Colombia, right? What do you see? You see bottom of the barrel fishing. Now, I'm not saying it's a monolith where it's 100%, but let's be clear. These guys are not getting the strata 4s, strata 5s.
All right.
Not at all.
Are they not getting? Or are they not even pursuing?
Even if they wanted to pursue, they couldn't get them. That's what I'm saying.
Why is that? I'm curious as to why that is.
Okay, it's a I'm changing camera angles. I'm playing with my new system here, but it's a multitude of factors, right? We'll just take it with the most basic. 9 times out of 10, they don't know the language, right? They're gonna be the weekend warriors. I'm gonna save up 6 months, and I'm gonna be Diddy, no Diddy for a weekend. That's what typically is what you see. No cap. I don't care who's mad about it. Nobody's going over there making connections. You even got guys who go to these countries for 10, 12 years at a clip, don't know anybody, can't speak the language, don't know shit. Tell me I'm lying. Shoulder shrug. That is the truth. And this is why, everything is congruent with each other. Because if you go over there, you're not going to be able to shake the P for P stench. And people can smell it on you as a local. And what happens is, the reason why most of these people are getting sent to the upper room is because they go over there, they don't know anybody, they're Tinder warriors, they're on zesty quests to fulfill a fantasy they've seen in rap videos. But the truth of the matter is they're getting like the bottom of the barrel. And in contrast to American women, it's probably a step up from what they're used to. Absolutely. But the conversation here is, are they getting the cream of the crop? Now, that's not to say every white dude gets the cream of the crop, although there is a home court advantage. Y'all know what that is. There is a little bit of advantage when you got the upper hand. What you do with the upper hand once you got it is up to you. Now, in contrast, even if you don't have the best hand dealt, if you could still work magic if you know what you're doing. This is why it's important to, when you go to travel, I would say the first thing is try to at least be conversational. I'm in Brazil, by the way. I expatriated out to Brazil. I live here. So this is not some basement dwelling guy who does not have receipts, who does not have the best of receipts that can back up everything he says, because I talk my ish, but everything I say is clearly, put it to you like this. My last trip to Colombia, before everything got super zesty, right? I did photo shoots, video shoots for about 2 weeks straight. You remember that, Kanal, right?
Yep.
One of the girls, I'm gonna just give you one of the girls. One of the girls I shot is now Miss Medellin. She's competing for the whole. They got this big contest right now where they're Miss Venezuela. I don't know exactly what it's called, but she is the representative for the country some of you Ninja Turtles go to. You would never have the opportunity to sniff this girl. I don't care. It's just because people don't go there with the same mindset as I go there. And I'm not saying I'm brilliant or nothing like that. What I am saying is there's certain key things people do not hit when they travel, which is why they run into trouble, which is why they run into the same girls. You see the same guys talk to the same girls. And it's actually kind of sad because, what they'll do, they'll talk to the same girls. They'll go on zesty quest to get the other guy's girl that he was there with last month. Look, I had her too. She was mine for a weekend. Me too. And,
I got another, because this is going to comment. Somebody put a comment in, and I've had this before. I dated where was she from? It was somewhere she had to be like Arabic, maybe like Palestinian, Pakistani, something like that. Fair skin though.
Mm-hmm.
Love the brother. Love the brother. Matter of fact, I'll even go further. I had a good friend of mine. He dated an Indian. She was Hindu. Beautiful. This girl was beautiful. They dated for, man, I'm telling you, like 5 years. He left the state we were in to go to Michigan together because she got a job. After all that, that love, all that caring, she said, look, I can't marry you. I can't bring you home. I can't do this. So do you think that even though the generation may like you, Marty, they like you, you're a good brother, but when they know they can't take you home,
Mhm.
They know that you're not light enough to be welcomed by the family.
Mhm. See, that I could have saved them 5 years. That's why they call me Marty McFly. I go all through time. Like I could have saved. I could have told him straight up, because the thing about it is, and this is the truth. This is going to hurt a lot of people's hearts. You're going to another man's patriarchy. You don't have one. You got this bullshit matriarchy, 50-50, whatever this is, whatever you guys are dealing with in America. I don't even live there anymore, but that's what y'all coming from. Y'all raised by women, taught by women, and then you go and bring that nonsense to other countries thinking that you're going to assimilate. It's not going to happen, because the truth of the matter is, she has a family system, especially Hindus. I would have told him, listen, Hindus are very family oriented, even more so than South America. Everything's about saving face, so to speak, right? So you can't go over there, because I know you said the average black man. Average black man, to me, when we go into statistics, is $50,000 to $52,000 a year, right? Now, if you're going to take that woman from her country, and I wouldn't recommend it, and move her back, she's going to have to work, right? But she's coming from a patriarchy where, in most cases, arranged marriages, depends on which part of the region you're going to. But even if it's not an arranged marriage, she still has a family structure where she can stay at home until she marries and marries a guy who understands her language, understands her culture. Does this guy know in 5 years, did he know how to speak Hindi?
No, it got broke. This is how she broke it down. And I know I'm gonna bring somebody up after this. I see, just to let you know, I see Tobias in the background. I got Ronan, Buck, the pad, play without a passport. He back there, and Ulysses. We'll bring you up. But here's how it went. The family broke it down. First, her older sister, she was with a guy. He was Indian. And the dad said, hey, are you from North India? You from South India? What tribe you in? So the fact that he wasn't in the same state, and that was still shaky. The next one got with a white dude, and it was like, I don't know how you bring this white dude in this house. He better be something special. The third one was with a brother. She ain't ever bring him home. I can't even bring him home. I can't even he can't even be considered to come in. That's how crazy it was. It's
Right.
not, I can't consider him coming in.
Notice you said when she brought the white dude home, he had a chance.
He had a chance.
Because, and that's where the home court advantage comes to play. It doesn't guarantee them a win, but it is an advantage. You at least get a crack at it.
Yeah.
Because it's not true, but the perception is white people come from a patriarch, which in most cases they do. White people come from generational wealth. So if the white dude was to take her outside of her country or patriarchy, they could rest easy at night. They're not going to be resting easy with Jamal making $52,000 a year. So that's why you don't know the language. You're not making enough money to really scoop her out of her situation comfortably. So it's just, so the original question, from what I understand, do white dudes get the cream of the crop? Am I getting that right? The original question? Well, I'll put it to you like this. What the other dude was saying was kind of true, in the respect that they do get finessed more than others. I'll give him that leg up. Here's the other thing. A lot of times, if we're talking the P for P route, a lot of times they just know where to look just to find better girls to pay for. Because if we're just looking at it on a P for P scale, and you say to yourself, well, why do the black guys do P for P and their girls look like sewer rats? And why does Brad do P for P and his girl look like she stepped out of a magazine? That could be attributed to two factors. One, they just know where to look. Maybe they're in a better, more high-end area, which has better establishments for that. Whereas a lot of, let's take the DR, for instance, a lot of people just go to the sewer. So you're going to find rats in the sewer. So if you're going to pay for rats in the sewer, that's what you're going to get. So you can't really compare it to, usually, not all, but a lot of white dudes tend to stay at higher end establishment with security because their safety is always in jeopardy depending on where they're at. They stick out. Whereas me and you can go to one of these black and brown countries, we can kind of blend in as long as we don't dress like Americans. We know the language a bit. They can't. So they tend to need more security. More security costs money, which means they're staying in a higher area, which means they're going to probably have more money to pay for higher end girls. If we're talking P for P, if we're talking relationship status, they got a little bit of a home court advantage. And then the second part of that is a lot of you ninjas bring that Negro shit over to these foreign countries. And these foreign countries have cable TV. So once they see the identifiers, okay, he has a snapback cap. Okay, he has shiny belt buckles. Okay, this guy doesn't know how to brush his teeth, comb his hair. Okay, we don't want that. So you're automatically excluded. Brazil's a whole nother animal. That's a whole nother animal.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna drop you in the back. Please stay, because at the end I want to bring everybody up to see what conclusion we get to. But I will say this. All right. Back in the day, before the recession, I used to have a whole bunch of houses. And when I just got in the houses, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it cheap. I'm gonna get that crackhead to come over here and do this work. It ain't gonna cost me but a few dollars to get that crackhead to do it. And I got a lot of crackheads to do it. And when they would do it, later on, I found her broke and I had to get somebody else to come in. I say that to say this. We black people are the crackheads. We the crackhead of all these countries. We think we getting a good price because we getting something cheap. Brad says, you know what? I'm going to pay for it. And those women say, I'm down with that. I want to be with Brad. Because they think Brad got more. He treating them a little better. And so Brad is going to get twice, 3 times, 4 times as much because they just hanging it out.
Yeah, because see,
he's not paid 4 times as much, but that perception of doing it, he can get it.
Their naivete works for them because now their perception is that, okay, if you get a white guy, he's not going to haggle you for the price. Let's keep it real. Ninjas be calling the zesty line and be trying to haggle peso prices. Oh, last time when I was here, it was 100 pesos less and I got 30 more minutes. So nobody wants to hear all that if we're talking you're that P for P stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They notice with the white guy, with the Indian guy, with the Jewish guy, they're not doing this, but they are doing this. Yep. So the perception is, you know what? I don't want to take a chance on Jamal and Jenkins. I'd rather go with Brad and Jeremy because they're safe, or Ishmael. You see what I'm saying? And then ninjas don't understand it. It's a 360 assault because it depends on the neighborhood you stay in, your accommodations. We're talking about relationships right now. We're not talking P for P. If you're trying to get a woman, the first thing she might ask you is, where are you staying? The second question she'll ask you is, when are you leaving? Because if you're doing 2 weeks, if you're doing 30 days, you can count any serious relationship happening in any country. They just don't take you seriously. Why? And why should they? Because you're not going to be around. So you're just the next gringo or whatever that's flying in for the weekend as far as they're concerned. And ninjas don't understand this.
So much money, man. I mean, there's a place that can be like $20 a night more, make it way more exclusive, way nice, and we go for that cheap dump. And it's like, and when you say it, I mean, when you go to a spot, especially people who live there, and you say where you staying at, they automatic. Because I've said it when I've been like Brazil, I'm like, oh, I'm at I forgot what hotel it is right there on the Atlantic, and they're like, whoa, oh, you stay there? And it's like a whole different thing, like a whole different treatment. That I seen some dudes down at Post 5, down at the little place. The way they get treated was entirely different. But totally Marty, back, I'm gonna bring Tobias up. Please stay around, brother, because you will be dropping gems on the end. I just want to get through everybody so that we have some
Okay,
time.
no doubt. Thanks for having me up, man.
All right. Tobias, how you doing, brother? And thank you. This brother sent a cash app in. He know what time it is, brother. You know what you got to get for that cash app. We got to do something for it, brother. It's always special when you bring the cash app in. We got to bounce for it, baby. Let's bounce it. Tobias the Traveler, brother. Thank you for dropping them gems. And as we say, you know, that's right.
Yo, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How you doing today?
All right. Life is good, bro. Just finally back in the States. Been in Thailand for the last 7 months. Work from there and all that good stuff. You know, it's rainy season right now, so I'm not about to be here doing all this rain. I mean, it's bad. So be in the States for another month and shoot on to Europe before going back to Thailand, probably like October or something like that.
It's the peak time over there now. Even though it's the rainy season, everything is inexpensive, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you want to get an Airbnb or something like that, accommodation right now is the best time to book, especially if you're coming long term. Right now is the best time to get there, just because most people aren't there, and they're trying to get apartments, rent for the year if you want to take a lease or something like that, or if you just want to do like an Airbnb for 2 months. They're going to be a lot cheaper now, just because people aren't present like that.
What city were you in Thailand?
I spent my first month and a half on the island of Koh Samui, then left Koh Samui, is in Bangkok for like the last 5.5 months.
All right, so let's do Bangkok. Did you see a difference between the brothers that came to Bangkok and the Chads that came to Bangkok? Well, I'll let you answer that first.
Yes. So definitely there's a massive difference between, ninjas, right? So Black Americans coming to Bangkok and, white guys coming to Bangkok. Now, the white guys coming to Bangkok, they understand value, right? They're going to get like a nicer place. If they're doing that P4P thing, they are, if it's whatever their price is, they're just doing that. They're not, worried about it like that. Or other brothers, I see brothers sometimes, and they just put bottom of the barrel chicks, like the chicks who, they say they don't want at home in the States because, they're only there for a couple of weeks usually. They still get those same type of women in Bangkok. And I'm like, why are you, if you're doing P4P, that's cool, knock yourself out. But why are you, dealing with that lower woman? You say you don't want a woman who got kids, and I asked her if she got kids. Oh yeah, she got a kid. But you say you don't want that in the States, but you're dealing with it and you paying for it here. That doesn't really make any sense to me. Right?
Anybody knows Thailand? That is a 24-hour. I mean, I can't get around where I'm at. It was 24 hours. I could maybe have skipped and made it somewhere in 19. I don't even think that. But 23. It was a long trip. Why would a guy travel 24 hours to just go get something he can get here? Because that's what they always say. You traveled all that to get what you could get here, or less than what you could get here. Why is that? Because I think a part of it is it money. It can't be money. I need to know the root of the problem.
You have to bring one cat. Let them explain that part, right? I'm not no psychotherapist, but I have my thought process on it, which is, it's, oh, hey, first part of it would be, oh, hey, I left, wherever I'm from in the States, and I went to Thailand, right? Just to be able to say I did it. And then when they get there, it's like, okay, Thai people are they're very, very nice. They're very kind. Isn't it? Doesn't matter like where they come from, or if they come from high society, they're not dealing with you at all. If a woman has access, if her family got money, right? She ain't dealing with brothers. You're not gonna see no fair-skinned Thai whose family is affluent dealing with no black men. Why would she? Right? Just like if you see like Becky, right? You see You see Pretty Becky, she's not typically dealing like high-end Becky. She's not dealing with no black men here. It's the same thing in Thailand. You're not going to see that pretty Thai woman who comes from an affluent family dealing with a brother like that. That's just not how it goes. You know, they do have colorism in Thailand, and it's real. It's actually heavier, you know, there than it is here. Much, much heavier. They're not even dealing with darker ties, right? Because it is a class/caste system. Brothers want to get there, and you know they talk to it, you know, a woman, and they are, since they're just nice people, just like, man, it just feels good. They've never been greeted like that before, you know. Even though she's just after that man's paper, it doesn't matter. It's just, oh wow, she just, you know, the feeling that she's providing this man with, he's willing to pay for, versus if he pays for it here, he might not be able to get that from her unless he's, you know, paying high-end escort, right? Who's going to give him that same GFE, right? So,
but let's just give it. I'm walking. I can't remember. I know I was somewhere near the little strip over there, but I forgot what neighborhood. But let's just say I'm in Soy 6. I'm over in like Pattaya. So I'm walking down the strip. Down the strip. That means, and I'm seeing, you know, 600 girls, 1,000 girls. Why is it that I can choose this girl who at least looks decent, but instead I choose this girl, tattooed up, long nails, she looked like not the best. So the choices, both of them cost the same. Why is it that brothers still gravitate toward that over there?
Because those are the same women he sees on Instagram, right, that he likes, but bras are choosing him, right? You know, you watch a lot. There's a lot of brothers like that. You look at they gram, and you know they looking at it just, oh man, she thick, she got it, right? And tattooed up, got the long nails, and you know they may not marry that woman, but they want to hit that way, which I understand, but they can't get her here, but they go to Thailand, they get something that is that, you know, that it's a similar archetype. Oh, look, she looked like that. You know, maybe she's, you know, her family might be, you know, the phenotype. She might be more Cambodian. She might have darker skin, right? Or she might be like half Malay. Or so she has darker skin. They see that and like, oh, you know, she's closer to black. Right? She got that, you know, oh, look, I you know, and she peeping me. She thick. Nah, she thick because she got kids, homeboy. She gave birth a couple times. I think, you know, they see tattoos and the long nails and like that's what they wish they had. Or, you know, that's the dream, right? The fantasy, which they wish, you know, on Instagram, and now they see it in their face, and now they can just reach out and touch it, you know, and make that happen if they choose to.
Man, look, in my sophomore year in college, I won't say this chick's name, but she was Indian, but she was like one of them cool Indians. Nice build, soft hair. I was a player back then. I tried to holler at her. I tried everything to holler at her. And because I was like, you know, she's like, you a player, you in a fraternity, you this. I'm like, nah, maybe I'll change for you, you know, whatever I could say. But she told me this. She said, and what you're saying might be true. She said, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. Maybe she was psychoanalyzing. She said, you want me because I'm the closest thing to white that you can get, but not white. I got the long hair, I got the phenotype, I got a nice body. So, you know, I'm just that one step below white. So you can still date me and still be and still don't get your ghetto pass revoked. What do you think about that? You think the guys go over there and say, well, she got this, this, and this. She's still foreign. I'm not getting the snow buddy, and I'm still not dealing with the black chicks at home. I made a come up.
You know what? I never thought about it like that. That's a very interesting, you know, thought. Honestly, that's very, very interesting because yeah, it's like, oh, well, I'm not dealing with the bunny. But she's not the black girl at home, even though she has similar qualities that I say I don't like. I don't want to date a woman with children, right? I don't want to date a woman with the long nails and the, you know, the raptor claws, all that. I don't want that. But then, well, but she ain't a white girl, so it's kind of like it may be a happy medium for them. That could be it, but then again, you know, remember they get it for however long they're there, you know, just a couple of weeks, and then they going home, right? So they feel good about themselves, but they, you know, maybe they somebody in their family didn't ridicule them, liking a white girl when they was younger. So that's a very, very interesting thought, brother. I got it. That's a massive one. Honestly, I'm surprised that woman told you that. Oh, you dealing with me or trying to, because I'm a one step from white. I'd have been like, bitch, I haven't fucked a whole lot of white girls. What you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know how to handle it. I was like, I don't even know how to. I ain't had no response.
Right.
I'm like,
oh man, all right, you lucky that man. She like, I went in. Oh, I would roast her. But yeah, she would have been. Oh man, yeah.
I had no
Indians
comeback.
though.
I was waiting for every other denial point, and when she threw that, I was like, I don't even know what to say to you now. So
when my cousin, right? One of my cousin, right? This like Indian chick magnet. I mean, this brother, I ain't never seen him. Nobody pull Indians like a non-Indian pull Indians like him. But he was the one person who told me, he was like, "Look, man, I can deal with all these broads, but they are not going to marry me." He says, "I done dealt with enough of them. If you watch, like, even if you look at the ones who are dating like white guys when they're in college or something." That's only while they're in college. They don't ever bring that guy home. And even when you said, hey, because Indians are very tribal, right? Hold on, you're not from the same place we from. You get looked at kind of strange. But I mean, at least he was Indian. Then you go, white guy. Hold on, they looking at that man. They got him under a microscope. Hey, is he a doctor? Is he a lawyer? Does he what business does he own? That's about to IPO or something like that. What tech startup is he a partner at, right, or a co-founder of? Then for a brother, you ain't getting no. Like Marty said, he's like, I could have saved brother 5 years, which is the truth, man. I had some other notes that I had taken also, but like what you were saying earlier about when you tell somebody where you're staying, right? Abroad, it does make a difference. Maybe you want to save $15-20 per night, but that you don't understand that there's a class system. So, her neighborhood a lot of times determine class. So, hey, I'm staying in Tongluar, I'm staying in Ekamai, right? Which is like right where all the malls are in Bangkok. It is, the center of town. It's like, oh, okay, you live in Ekamai, you live in Tongluar. Oh, cool. Women will hear that. And it's, you ain't gonna really have no issues. But well, for me, I don't date Thai women. I only date white. I like white girls. So, which is kind of backwards, fucking around getting time so long. But when you stay someplace, it does say a lot about, again, one's pockets, and women will judge us on that. That's just what it is. We may not want to be judged by it, but it's real, and it's always going to be there. Now, I'm not saying go be no millionaire, or if you want to, make it happen, get your money. But it is a thing. And again, Brad understands value, so he'll pay for, oh, hey, I'm in this area of the city, and I'll deal with him. But you won't see that with like he won't marry the high-end woman, that high-end Thai, because she doesn't deal with him. But he'll get the escorts. There's a bunch of nice rooftop bars in Bangkok. What you don't see there though are Thai men. You see the women, but all the Thai women there are escorts. I was tell you now, or even to the really nice clubs, you won't see Thai men at most of the really nice clubs. You'll see like Chinese guys, Korean guys, but you won't see Thai men unless you go to like where I stay in Ekamai. Ekamai is the trendy area. It's nothing but Thais who got paper. There's Thai. You don't really see too many foreigners coming through. But the rooftop bars, you're gonna see a lot of pretty Thai women, fair skin, but those women are escorts. They are not, their level of English is also pretty good. It's pretty good. So,
I'm gonna put you in the back, but I'm gonna go to the next one.
Yes,
but
sir.
here's what I want you to think about, and I want the other people to think about this when I bring them up, because we're gonna have a group conversation. We say, and you don't have to answer. I just want you to think two things. Well, first, let me go with the first one. I remember I went to DR a long time ago, and this is when I didn't really know the language, didn't know anything, and this is kind of what saved me. When I brought a chick to the hotel, and the security was like, hold on. When they came and was trying to find out who she was, check her out, when I seen other people just bring girls in, I knew that there was a difference with that girl compared to the girl that somebody else brought in. I couldn't see it because I'm just looking at the outwardly beauty. But if like you in the States and you see a girl, what's up, and she ghetto, You know she ghetto, but somebody who from another country doesn't realize, oh, that's how hood chicks act, and they might get stopped like, why you in this nice hotel? That was it.
Mhm.
But my question to you and the other people are this: we go to another country, we'll date a chick that has a kid, we'll date a chick that has this. So we're changing for a chick, and then we get mad when our black women date a white dude and she ain't got no attitude. I want you to think about that. I'm gonna bring you to the back. I want you to answer that why. I'm gonna bring Ronan up. Ronan, I'm bringing you to the stage. Actually, I'm gonna have you co-host with me, Ronan, because Kanal had to disappear for a while. So we're gonna bring Buck up. Next is Passport, a player with a passport.
All right.
It's actually in Las Vegas, brother.
Come on, man. We got to have this light skin moment for a second, though.
Oh, we got to have a light skin moment for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We coming up. We coming up.
Go out for a minute. This is
back
light
up in
skin
style
moment
again.
right
You know
now.
what I'm saying? I need that music because I gave a super chat. I need to get my sounds, man. I need you to play
want
me
some sounds or you want some dancing?
Yeah.
You want
I need whatever. Shake a tail
All right,
feather.
let's see. I know you don't want her. You want the Kanal story. I can't give you
That's not me. That's not me. That's Kanal. That one right there, that last one, that's it.
You gave it all to your brother. You got black,
that
white.
last one. Yes.
You can have it all. Brother, talk to me, man. What's going on? Why they chasing these scallywags, man?
I don't know, man. I'd have to equate it to what you're used to with dealing with in America. Some of these dudes cannot come outside of themselves, out of their comfort zone. They stay in the comfort zone in America and they go overseas and they just want to stay in that pocket. They don't want to venture out of that pocket. They want to stay where they're comfortable. Now, when you go overseas, you actually have a hell of a lot more clout. You're an American, blue passport, your money going a lot further. I don't know why they don't want to punch above their weight class, but they just don't. And I don't understand it.
Is it what you say? All right. I remember I don't want to say like the tracks, wherever you go, there's like a dividing line, I just remember when I was in the neighborhood back where I came from, the rent, say here, was $500.
Right.
I mean, right over here in a nice neighborhood was $550. Not really that much difference. And you had more
couple blocks over, that was it.
Yeah. But when 2 blocks made a hell of a difference, man. It was like you crossed the railroad tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that the people wouldn't pay that extra $50 to live secure, better school, all of that? And I used to talk to this woman. I did some work with her. And I remember she was telling me, she said her and her husband. So if you've ever been to like I was in Ohio. So if you've ever been in Ohio, you cross a bridge from Kentucky and then you get into Cincinnati. Okay. She was from Cincinnati. She said they was out of the town, maybe in Atlanta, party. She said this dude was the coolest dude. She didn't even know who he was. This is what she said, bro. She said he was driving. He hit the bridge. As soon as he hit the bridge, she said the seat came down. She said, it was like he went back to the same person. He changed. He couldn't be comfortable. He couldn't be that same person out. So is it a problem where we can't even be comfortable when we go out of town, that it's like the guys that go all the way out the country and be like, what you want to eat? You want some of this nice sancocho or these the food they eating somewhere? And they're like, nah, I want some McDonald's and KFC. Like,
comfort zone. Like I said, that's a comfort zone. They don't know how to come outside of it. And it's a sad situation. You have such a variety that you can get when you leave this country and you choose to go down the same road without even wondering what the other thing is going to be like. You know what I mean? No question in your mind. You comfortable, you're going to stay in the pocket. This is what you know. This is the best you're going to get in your own mind. In your own mind. God knows they could probably do a hell of a lot better. All he has to do is put a little effort in just a little bit. He can go so
it
much
that
further.
lazy? Are we that lazy? Are we that lazy?
A lot of brothers are. Absolutely. I'm sorry. They are.
I'm gonna bring Buck up. Let's see what Buck got to say. Buck, and then Passport, player with a passport, you next, and Ulysses coming next. We're gonna do a 5-round suit and then bring everybody forward. Buck with a passport, sir. How you doing today?
Hey, salute, man. What's the question tonight, man?
What's that?
What's the question? Is this still the same question?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the same question: Why does Brad? So it's kind of like a 2-part question.
Okay.
Does Brad have better chances overseas? That's number one. And number two, why is it the brothers? So Brad gets the quality women, brothers get the hood rats, and not because we can't get more. It's what we choose. Why do we choose hood rats, and why does Brad choose quality women?
Okay, so let me just say this. So first of all, I've seen the baddest of women overseas. First of all, with the local man, they got the home field advantage. It is what it is, right? The second baddest chicks I was seeing this, and it was the white guys. Maybe it's due to social status. Maybe it's due to generational wealth. Maybe it's due to power. I don't know. There's a lot of factors with it. Then third, on the third level, you got other groups of people. You got the Indians, you got the blacks, you got the Asians, and all that. That's where it all fit in. So it's like the brothers are like third option, right? Along with the Indians and Asians and all that, et cetera, et cetera. But it has to do with social status. White guys are associated with social status and power. It's a well-known fact. They have the wealth in this world. So obviously, these women in these countries, other than their own man, yes, they prefer their own men. So, like Tobias said, when Tobias said those upper class of Thai women, they don't even look at foreign men. They stick to their own man. So if you give these women the opportunity, if they had money, yes, they're gonna stick with their own man. But if they're like, if they see a better opportunity, economic opportunity, they're gonna go for the other groups of men that can that could possibly change their lives. But as far as your second question, when you said the bros picking up bad quality, I mean, I haven't seen any evidence of that because, like, at this point, it's all just assumptions. It's like a lot of guys just assuming things. So I've seen Chaz pick some like chicks who got 2 kids, 3 kids overseas. So it could swing both ways.
I gotta call cap on you, bro. As many YouTubers you see out there trying to sell these chicks, you saying these are top-notch chicks they trying to sell on these YouTube channels.
I'm just saying that it might be even across the board, So
But where have you traveled to? And if it's a long list, maybe I'll ask it. Have you been to Brazil?
I haven't been yet. I've been to Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, Japan, Dominican Republic.
Didn't you just
Colombia.
come back from Peru too?
Let me go back.
Peru.
I'm gonna give an example Marty McFly would understand, and I'm gonna give that after. Where in Dominican Republic have you been?
I've been to Santo Domingo.
And that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So my question is, brothers don't go to Santo Domingo.
Okay.
Brothers usually go to Sosua. Now you can get fine chicks in Santo Domingo. And Marty McFly would tell you, I have been to Brazil. I've been there a few times. If I go to Brazil, and what I found was I was in Copacabana. I was like, all right, Copacabana. All the brothers. Now you got all these posts. It's a long beach on Atlantic Avenue. Long. You go up toward the one side where Playa Lima is. It's like white folks. They jamming, they having fun. All the brothers hang out at Post 5 for whatever reason. Now, next to the Copacabana beach, Right on there is a Playa Empanamia. Different. White folks with money. Now, you ain't went nowhere, brother. I mean, you literally ain't went but 5 minutes over. But you don't find brothers over there. It's a different class of people. We just sitting in post 5 where the hood is. We got a whole beach and we still congregate to the hood. We got a whole country in DR and we still go to a small red light district. So there has to be something with us that we always going to the worst places, and that's where it all hangs out at. Explain that to me.
I mean, I definitely agree. You know, brothers kind of like consolidate in one area of Dominican Republic, even though Dominican Republic is bigger than Sosua. You know, and that's one of the main reasons why I went to Santo Domingo, because I actually want to get that local feel, local Dominican feel. You know, the thing with Santo Domingo is I've been there. It doesn't have a big nightlife as not. I'm talking about red light district as Sosua. So brothers, when they go to DR, they're doing a 3-day trip, so they want something quick. So it's like it's something in and out. Santo Domingo, what I found out, Fearless, is that if you're a decent brother, you can get a nice little solid Dominican girl out there. A nice little solid, like if you living out there. I'm talking about if you live. I'm talking about if you're an expat out there, you can get a nice Dominican women out there. If you're a decent dude, you know, who have his shit in order, you can get a decent Dominican girl out there. Sosua, it's all long hanging fruit of a Dominican woman. You're looking at the lowest of the low of there. You know, so you're not gonna get any quality out of there. If you want to find wives, you got to go to Santiago. You got to go to Santo Domingo. You know, so you can't go. And I've seen cases where, you know, brothers, you know, trying to take a chick out of the market in Sosua. You know, so it's when you see that, it's like it's sad. It's sad to all of us, because, you know, it's when you. I mean, at the end of the day, what makes them happy is it is what it is. If that makes you happy at the end of the day, do you? But it's like out of all the women, you know, you went from this low hanging fruit. I mean, you're talking about you're bashing single moms in the States, saying you don't want to settle for them, but then you go to some of these countries and bail out a single mother with 2 kids.
Multiple.
You know. But a lot of guys, what they say is like their kind of argument to that is they say this: oh, she's more feminine, you know, oh, she's more with the program and all that.
That could be true.
But here's the thing, man, it's not even that Brad don't want her. Carlos and Jose don't want her. I mean, you why is it that we, the black people, gotta get the bottom of the barrel, man? Brad don't want her. Carlos and Jose Rodriguez don't want her, and we say, you know what? We'll take her.
Bring her on. We'll take her.
We love you. Because you called me Poppy. I mean, make it make sense.
Me breakfast. You rubbed my back.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you know, what Tobias said earlier. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna mention any names, but there's a prominent YouTuber who literally bailed out a Thai chick who was in a corn video.
Oh Lord, I know who you're talking about.
Their video.
We're not gonna mention their names, but it's like,
names. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
He's a cool brother. He's a cool brother, man. Whatever.
You know, like.
And here's the thing, hold on. I'm not gonna mention his name. I won't mention him. I know who you're talking about. But here's the thing: he not an ugly brother, man. I seen a video where the dude was in the gym, slender, nice build, nice, you know, knows how to speak. So it's not like he's a ghetto guy. He's, you know, he's not a guy who needs to be hood. nice physique, nice looking man, no
Pause.
diddy, whatever y'all say. Why he got to get that?
That's a $1 million question. You know, we don't. At the end of the day, we don't even know what was his mentality, what was going through his head. You know, I mean, look, Fearless. I've been to over 10 countries, right? And I still did my thing over there, but nowhere, at no point in time did I ever thought about me bailing out these chicks and wife with them, or being girlfriend or boyfriend with them, being in a relationship with them. No point. Once I get back to the States, I'm deleting contacts. You know? So it's like, I'm deleting contacts. No
He's
one's
like he about to get in the shower and disinfect himself. God damn.
Yeah, man. So, I just
Here's my thing. Let me ask you a question real quick. Is that a difference between that situation and brothers sleeping with chicks that have 50 to 100 bodies here in the United States and not knowing, and then they settle down with them and wife them up? Is there a great difference between those two?
Oh, you gotta know.
I'm asking.
No, because you may not know her number, but you can tell by the way she carries. I think, are we that naive? We can tell by the way she carries herself. You know.
You tell me. Are they that naive?
I mean,
Buck, I'm gonna answer your question.
Yeah,
bring up the player with a pass.
Roland, let me follow up with that.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Okay, say okay. Let's just say 2 girls. One girl in the States, more than 100 bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Then girl in, for example, let's just use Thailand, more than 100 bodies. Let's just say at the end, both of them are STD free. You verify all of that, and you're trying to settle down. 9 times out of 10, that person is gonna pick the Thai chick over the chick in the States, because that Thai chick is easier to deal with.
Okay, but they still picking her, and she still got bodies.
Yeah, she still got bodies, but 9 times out of 10, folks will be picking that Thai chick because she's easier to deal with. You know, they're feminine. You know, they show you a different, treatment.
Right. And I said that to bring out the point of who you brought up and why maybe he settled with her, because of the disposition that girl gives off.
Good question. That's actually a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's why I said that. I said that to bring up that point, but so you made it. Thank you.
Very, very good point. Very good point. Fearless, thanks for having me on. Very good topic.
Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Just stay in the back for a second.
Yeah, these two gentlemen, we're going to have a group discussion, so hold on with me. Let me just throw you in the back here. The man of the hour. The man of the hour. The sponsor of the show. Player with a passport.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
And as our friend would say, what did she
Papa,
say?
why would you talk about me? I'm not out doing something. I apologize. Papa, I'm not.
How you doing today, brother?
I'm trying to live the dream, man. I appreciate you bringing me on the panel.
Come up after in about 5 minutes, and then we bring everybody on, and I want to hear everybody's view simultaneously. Go ahead, brother. You tell me.
Well, for one, I think a lot of guys, they're dealing with. Let me answer the question right off the gate. Does Brad get better quality women than brothers? I believe so, right? And the reason why I believe so is because, Brad, for one, if we're going to just talk about pay for play, touch that quickly. For one, Brad isn't going to be cheap. When you take a look at brothers, I think the one brother was talking about how they want to haggle them and they want to negotiate and all that stuff. So that'd be the first one. Brad's going to be like, yo, I want to go get my dream. So boom, whatever my dream is, that's what I'm gonna do, right? As far as this race matter, I think it does play a part, but I believe that it plays a part in a positive way. I'm not a dark-skinned black man, right? So maybe he's going to get treated differently than myself. I usually get asked if I'm Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Venezuelan, right? So I think I think it plays a part in that aspect. But I also believe that as a black man, we have favor, right? I love being a black man, and I love being a black man out the country. I love being able to showcase my fashion. I love being able to showcase and represent my community as a whole. Also, a reason why men don't get the top tier. I think the dude Marty Marr, is it Marty Marr?
Marty McFly.
Okay, yeah, he hit something on the head real good. Pause. That in Colombia, specifically, these guys, they don't get these Strata 4, Strata 5s, right? For one, you got guys, they've been living there, and they don't even know what a Strata is, and let alone be able to place themselves in that environment. Secondly, a lot of people, when they travel, they're not building community.
Exactly.
Right? I'm a dude. I stick to the basics, right? You can swipe Tinder and all that other shit, but the basics, everything is built off the basics, right? I've said this before. You can swipe 100, you can get 100 matches, but when she get to the house, you still got to talk around the panties, right? So you got to have the ability to converse with her. That's going to activate her in such a way that she's going to want you emotionally, physically, and mentally.
Right.
So those are just some reasons why black men aren't winning. Also, they're not winning as far as getting, the high quality women, because it's in their mind. They don't believe that they're worthy of getting those females, right? They believe, oh man, she would never talk to me, right?
So you think Brad walk in the club and say, I can have any chick in here? Who?
Absolutely.
And we walk in and say, who the fattest chick? I'll take her.
Well, I don't think it's got to do with, the size. I think it's got to do more with comfort, right? I mean, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, sir. My first French kiss was with a white girl in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? We just licked each other's tongues. You know what I'm saying? I was the city I was coming from, we had diverse communities. I dealt with the Cambodians and Laotians, the Mexicans. But I also believe that you got to have that level up in you, right? So you got to have that already instilled in you. I think it's just something that you have in you from birth, right? That you're going to say, you know what, man, I'm over here out the country. Man, I'm here to get the top-notch females. That's what I'm doing, right? Now, you can say it in your mind, but to act on it is two different things.
So can we relate that to black men's lack of confidence?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to.
It's kind of where you heading. They don't have the confidence to punch up.
Well, I don't think it's a black man don't have confidence. It's going to be an individual thing.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an individual thing that they don't feel as though they're worthy of getting a certain type of woman. And also, lastly, we have to remember, fellas, the way we dress is going to attract a certain type of woman, and it's going to deter a different type of woman. If me and Fearless, listen, I'm 5'9", I'm a skinny, scrawny cat. Fearless, he got his little muscles or whatever. If Fearless come in there with his fitted hat, his Michael Jordan jersey, some Jordans on, and some jean shorts, and I come in there clean, I'm going to attract a different type of woman than Fearless is going to attract.
Absolutely.
Do you remember that movie Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
Remember the dude? He not really Hispanic, but he played like a Hispanic, and he was like the bad guy.
Yeah.
He was the king where he was at.
Yeah.
His whole thing was, I can't get to the white people. I don't know how to get there. Do you think that is how we are? Like, you grew up with diversity. So that means you can be comfortable in different things. You think some brothers who grew up like in the hood, that's just where they feel comfortable at. Like they can't get out of that. It's like that PSTD. They used to, this ghetto type chick, there's people going to talk. And even if they go overseas, they still go to the, like I've said it before. I said, there's been women who have been in domestic violence and they say they don't want it. They leave one domestic violence and they go to another domestic violence. So do you think brothers are suffering from domestic violence in the sense where we say we don't want that black girl because she this, and then we go find the same chick somewhere else that's the same way because we that's what we're comfortable with, our PST.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, this goes to mindset, right? And this also goes to just having it. It's just got to be in you, right? It can't be on you. It's got to be in you, right? I remember when I was coming up in the early '90s, dating a white girl was weird, right?
Yeah.
So when I started dealing with white girls, I started off slow. I started dealing with the hood rat white girls, right? But then I felt though in my mind, boom, I can conquer this. So now I wanted to step up, right? Nobody pushed me to say,
Becky, good here. You wanted that Becky that lived. I had one. She lived in an estate. I didn't even know what the hell an estate was. I was like,
yeah. I wanted that Abercrombie and Fitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this nigga, this the ghetto white girl, man. This ain't it, man. I want that Abercrombie and Fitch female. You know. So again, I think there are some things that are just in you, and also I believe it's all mental. Some guys just don't have that confidence to believe that they're worthy of a certain kind of woman, and that's only based on her physical beauty, because they put the way that she looks above their value as a man.
Let's get the elephant out the room. There's 3 light-skinned brothers sitting up on this screen right now. Do you think that has anything to do with it as well?
As far as what?
Your confidence level.
Nah, hell no, bro.
Okay.
Hell, I come from the '90s, man. I come when Albie Shore was at Albie. Who was that? Albie Shore got stabbed in the hand by Tito Brand.
Yeah,
we used to be in, baby. We was in until Wesley Snipes came and knocked us.
Yeah, so we had to. I think as a light-skinned black man in the black community, man, you had to. No matter what you was involved in, no matter what kind of lifestyle you was involved in, you had to go the extra mile.
Most brothers don't think that though. They think we had it easier when we didn't. I'm just letting you know.
Can't fight. They like, yeah, right. That's a pretty.
Most brothers that are light skinned, they still ain't got no broke nose. You know, they know how to throw hands. Because
hey, bro, let me tell you this.
Ask you, man. You know what messed me up? And I'm
my mouthpiece had to be super sharp. I needed my mouthpiece to be sharper than the next man, just for the fact that they thought because he got curly hair and he light skinned, that's the only reason why he can get the broad. Exactly. So I had to make sure my mouthpiece was slick.
Speak up.
You know what messed me up, brother? It was Kim Kardashian. Because back before Kim, if you see a white chick with a booty, she was all yours. White dudes ain't one. They like, she fat. She don't look good.
Yep.
A white chick with a body, that was like supreme. You had it to yourself. Nobody wanted it. And then Kim Kardashian came in and that's all that. Now the white dudes want body. That's crazy. I got everybody up, man. I want to hear
the bug drop out.
Other people said, y'all done heard it. Have y'all changed your facts, man? Does race matter? Does race matter? And
Tobias is out.
Why y'all picking hood rats, man? Nobody has still answered that question, really. Nobody. We got the choice to do whatever, and all we saying is this is what we do. We are picking them, but nobody's saying why, man. And it's disappointing. I
can't speak for something I don't do. That's the whole thing. I don't think any brother on the panel does that. Right. So until we get somebody to come up on the panel that picks those type of people.
Can I say this? Can I say this very quickly? I met a I think a lot of times when we travel, game, when I say game, I'm talking about information. Game don't come in the form of bullet points, like step A, B, C, D, or step 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of time game come in the form of conversation. The information is within the conversation, but you got to have the ears to be able to hear the information so you can extract it and start applying it. And a lot of times we meet other cats and they give us information, but we don't hear the information so that we can apply it. I met a white dude and he told me, be discreet, be exclusive, and move like a submarine. At the time, I didn't understand what he was talking about. This was in Bogota at the restaurant called Mr. Rig. As I began moving, I start realizing, man, being exclusive. To be exclusive means that, you VIP, everybody don't get access to you. Only certain people get access to you. Exactly. So when you apply that to your dating, hey, if I'm VIP, I'm only one to deal with a certain type of woman, right? Yeah. If I'm exclusive, that means I'm very selective on the type of woman that I'm gonna deal with. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, a lot of men in general, when they're traveling,
think what we can
I
get.
think Marty had mentioned it. They just trying to knock some shit down, you know. And I didn't really start trending. I didn't really start making the moves until I started being there for 3 months, 6 months, 4 months. That's when I really started gaining traction.
Marty, am I right when I talked about Brazil, man, and the beach there?
Go over what you said, the Cliff Notes before.
All right. The Cliff Notes was this. When I was there, if you went, what's that restaurant that's on Atlanta? It's the famous steak restaurant.
Oh, I know the all-you-can-eat one where they keep bringing you food.
Yeah. So that's
yeah.
up north.
Yeah.
So let's take that side. I'm saying we go that side. That would seem like there's white people. It's a little different, a little richer. You go down to Post 5, it's all brothers. We hang out at Post 5. The other beach that's right around the corner was it Ipanema. White people. They only 5 minutes from each other, man. You can take your bike, you can go over there, but we don't, man. We want to stay over there with my man. Don't blame it on Rio. We want to stay. All that area is us. We don't want to go.
I don't be nowhere around those ninjas. Nowhere.
Why is that, man? Why do we have a whole beach, a whole nother beach?
Listen. Are we speaking our mind on this panel? Or are we being PC? Because I don't get
it. We past 12. We ready to do whatever we need to. Yeah. You know, I think me and Ronan on 11:30, but everywhere else, we out, man. You know, bring it out
30 in the morning, so you know I'm rocking with y'all late.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Definitely 1:30 in the morning, so I'm definitely pumping that fuel with y'all. You know, for real. All right, so like the reality is this: niggas is broke. They can't afford to live in Ipanema. They can't afford to live in the higher end neighborhoods. So they're gonna go where they can afford. And unfortunately, I'm not saying Copacabana is cheap. It's still, you know, depending on where you stay. I used to actually stay on that block with that restaurant right next to Copa Palace. So I was there for like 5 months. In a penthouse. I have videos on that on my channel. But most people there in the back block somewhere in the boonies, they're near the favela. I mean, you know, you can't come to a country looking like a billboard. That's another thing. Dress code is. There's so many.
I want you to do that because brothers ain't broke in a sense because they'll spend that $200, $300 on shoes and get them some Yeezys and all of that and come down there. They'll do that. So is it? We not broke.
That's almost like saying dudes in the project is rich. They look like the most expensive ninjas you ever saw, but they broke too. It depends on where you put your money. Like you could have $100,000 job and still be broke.
Facts.
Because your spending habits is trash.
Mm-hmm.
So our priorities is all jacked up.
Yeah, so you know when these guys come to this country, like I said, it's a zesty quest Diddy fantasy that they always wanted to live. You know, you'll see them. They usually got the shiny belt buckles. They usually got the hat turned to the back. They think, I'm just speaking on Brazil, but you can apply it to any country. Let me throw on my fresh threads, and I'm gonna show these people I'm that ninja. But all you're doing is making yourself a walking target because you don't understand. Well, I don't know how many people been to Brazil here. The dress code is very casual, right? Mm-hmm. It's hot, especially spring to summertime. It's very hot. So you basically dress like you're going to the gym at all times because it's comfortable. Now, if you go to where the money is, New Money, Barra Tijuca, the Village Mall, places like that, you might want to bring a couple of outfits to kind of blend in because you are blending into a higher tier of people. So it would make sense to look like you have a little bit more money than some favela kids. So it's all situational. But we just talking about the Ninja Turtles right now. You Ninja Turtles come to Copacabana You go to Mabs, you might hit 4x4 and you stay on, you go from the couch to the beach. You got couch surfers. You even got YouTubers that do this down here. They stay on the couch. They go from the couch to the beach, to the beach to couch. They live here 6 to 8 months out the year. No friends, no social circle. Don't speak the language. Have nobody. If something happened, who do you call? Not Ghostbusters. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no social network. So when things happen to you, that's your fault. You know, I have no sympathy. I'm like, listen, to expat to a different country, to live, it also depends on what country, but I wouldn't even think about leaving the States if you're not pulling, and I'm talking about the minimum. This is not even the most. If you're not pulling in 6 racks, you're wasting your time. Because, you know, when you start to compare, you know, United States living, you want to have that same type of lifestyle overseas, right? So just think about it for a second. We could take Brazil, for instance, right? In general, it's 5-1. But then you know, a lot of guys that expat, they don't tie up all their issues in the States. So for instance, if they live in Brazil, they might have a house with a mortgage on it that's sitting, not for rent. It might be a full house. It might not be a 2-family. You still got to pay that mortgage. So now your money is divided. You got taxes, because I don't know what people's money is looking like. Then you have expenses, your cell phone, internet. Now, where do you want to live? Some dudes come out here and live close to favelas. I'm like, why? Like, you know, and that's the difference between white and black. White people, majority of them seem to understand value. Black people say, I'm gonna travel here to save money. My thing is, you should do all the saving money and making money in the States. So when you get out of the States, now you're relaxing. That's the different mindset with stuff. So, you know, you even have people, and it's cool to do it. I'm not knocking it, but you know, I know a lot of guys that do IT here, make pretty decent money. The only problem, and this is not a dig on IT, it's good that you're able to work remotely. The only problem is that's usually a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 or 8 to 6 job, which means you have to be stuck in the vicinity of your computer. All I'm saying is there's a lot that happens in Brazil between 8 and 6. There's a lot that happens. Now, yeah, you could do the nightlife thing, but you're missing a lot. So I just think that when people travel to like live in the countries, I mean, some people are day traders and very successful. If you can do something for 2 or 3 hours in the morning, make your money, and then go live your life and everything's cool, that's great. But you know, it's a lot. This, you know, it's a lot. But just to get back to the original question, dudes are trying to capture a fantasy moment in their brains, and I'll be honest with you, Brazilian women are gorgeous. But when you live here, like you had mentioned before, you understand. And I mentioned before, there's strata. Over here, it's more of it's not strata, it's more of a class system 1 through 10. And Americans sit on top of that 10 off the bat. Now, obviously, you got to have your money together, but we sit even as Black Americans, we sit on top of rich and educated Brazilians because we are revered. The problem is they don't know that until you open your mouth. So you know, depending on how you're dressed, what area you're in, you might get a different type of treatment. And especially if you don't know the language, there's like so many factors that play into this. And I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Brazil is extremely racist.
Yeah.
But you know, I always got to M. Night Shyamalan and shit. It is not racist necessarily by white folks. Ooh, follow me for a second. Follow me. Let me be honest with you. It's not that. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of you dudes that come down here with this pro-black fantasy, I'm gonna find my African queen. Pack it up. I'm gonna burst some bubbles tonight. because y'all.
And I got a thing. I want to address this one. This is D-War. He says, "Oh wow, I grew up around white people, so I'm not intimidated by them." That's a good point I never thought of. I was on Austin Holloman's show, and one thing we were talking about was economic disparities. Now, the one thing I can say, I grew up in a black neighborhood, but I had some white neighbors, and I had the white neighbors that, you know, back in the day, they put I don't know why they put the speaker facing outward instead of inward, so everybody could hear it. But this is what I found out, man, by doing that. When I would go to my other friend's house, it was strictly like black, meaning if you listen to anything but hip hop, you know, you was just wrong. Now, I grew up listening to, I can tell you every country person, because they had country, like was it Merle Swaney or Merle Haggard, all them country folks, from that to hard rock. Queen, that's how I learned who Queen was, Leonard Skinner, all of those things. Having that made it so diverse that I could go other places, and just when they play a song, if you say, and you sing two tunes with it, you automatically fit it. They like, how you know that?
Mhm.
So I think what happens is, as black people, we've grown up so isolated where we are like, you have to think this way, you have to look this way, you can't get nowhere outside that box, because if you do, what happens? Like you said, Ronan, you're not black enough, you know, you ain't really black, you know, if you don't know this, you ain't black. And we put each other all in that box, and so we so scared to think outside or go outside of it. And so even we take that with us when we go out of the country. It's like, you know, I can't dress this way. If I dress this way, they may look at me funny. Well, white dudes don't have that, man. It's not intimidated. They have just had exposure, and we're not exposed. Nobody will say to a white dude, if he listening to rock and roll 1 minute, and then he turn on hip hop the next minute, and he turn on country the next minute, and then do some techno. No, he wouldn't even get a second back. You see a brother to do that, it's like, what are you listening to techno for? You know, we do that to ourselves. So I don't think it's intimidation. We limit ourselves to do this.
Facts.
And I'm gonna bring up Warrior Status, this Nick Nami, and Darnell. We're gonna bring everybody up. We're not gonna stay on too much longer, but I want to get all the opinions. Let's go ahead and start with you, Warrior Status.
Yeah, it's not Measy. What up to the panel? You heard?
Sure.
All right. So does race matter when dating abroad?
So let me ask you this question.
Go on, brother.
It's a two-part question.
Mm-hmm.
One, does race matter? Meaning, you know, if you're white, do you get better? The second part of that is, why, as black men, do we pick the low-hanging fruit? Do we go there and pick the low-hanging fruit? Where, you know, we can have other chicks, but we decide that we want low-hanging fruit.
All right. I'm gonna start from the back to the front, exactly how a young female shouldn't wipe. But those who know already know. Now, look, I think the low-hanging fruit has to do with what a lot of brothers feel that they can get, or feel what they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a product of them not really working on themselves to a point where they can choose what they want. Like, we should be as selective as a lot of these females, or even more, actually, because I believe that men are the prize. So, like I said, I've had women approach me, and I'm just looking at them like, did you not look at yourself? Like, how dare you even step to a man like me? You know what I'm saying? Because we should feel that way about ourselves. As far as the race thing is concerned, I think that race obviously matters to a certain point, but I never traveled like with this whole. I don't look at being black as being a disability. You know what I'm saying? To the contrary, you know what I'm saying? I'm part of the, you know, the most popular blacks on the planet. So you know what I'm saying? When I move a certain way, but I don't see that the white guys can get something that I couldn't get, but still even recognizing that there are some women that prefer white guys, but there are maybe not just as many, but there are women that prefer black guys as well. The problem with the women that prefer black guys, you gotta weed out the ones that prefer black guys based off of stereotypes and fetishisms. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to become someone's Kunta Kinte fetish or someone's 50 Cent G Unit fetish. You know what I'm saying? So it's a slippery slope. But when I travel, you know what I'm saying? I just travel, bro. Like I've been traveling since I was a kid, and I never traveled under like blackness is a disability. Oh, I'm a lonely black man. Nah, I walk with my head up high. You know what I'm saying? I think we all should.
I would want to piggyback on what Namizi said about being that you don't want to be that black caricature. You don't want to be that black cartoon character. Remember I was saying in Thailand, a lot of these women, they study black culture. So, you know, you would see like what's that club everyone goes to? I can't remember the name of it, but the 808. So you've seen 808. You see dudes wearing fitteds, do-rags, NBA jerseys, fake gold chains, and you're like, yo, you can't get away wearing that in America, but you can get away wearing it here. And believe it or not, they get a lot of attention. And I realized that the women there, they travel from Bangkok, travel from all over the country, and they're looking for that particular type of black man. So they may just be acting a part. And you know, you don't want to be like it's like a Kunta Kinte. You don't want to be the token black guy from America that secretly they laughing at you and you know they can't take you home. You know, and I mean I don't think we're fetishized that much, but on the small end, it could be some sort of fetishism. I would add this to your earlier question, Phil. It's about, you know, why we go to like Postal 5, Sosua, and, you know, places, you know, like, you know, places where a lot of black people congregate, because I think mainly because they don't know the language, comfortability, and who's going to teach them otherwise? Who's going to let, you know, someone who's not part of the culture, who doesn't respect the culture, into those other places? You want to keep that for yourself. You know, you don't want to just have, you know, any what they call it, PPay, I forgot what they call it, any Ray and stuff, just run up there and messing the stuff up. So if you don't know the culture, you don't know the language, it's best you go to Postal 5. You know, you're gonna maximize your time there. It's best
y'all congregate in the same area. I'm not telling you where.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be. You're not gonna catch me there. And it was funny because I was planning my first trip. I was like, yo, why y'all don't want to stay in Ipanema? Why y'all don't want to stay in LeBlanc? Like, why y'all only want to stay around Copacabana? Why you want to stay right next door to Mavs? Like, I don't get it. And as far as Marty said, like in that neighborhood, it's a totally different class of people. You have to dress different. You're gonna stick out. You can't wear a fitted and a do-rag. You're gonna look crazy. And you get the better restaurants. You see a different type of women. You see families. And even to the beach you were talking about, you have to know Portuguese to go to the other side of the beach. You got to know Portuguese to go on Rasta Beach. So where can you speak English? Postal 5. Everybody knows that's where you're going to be at. So just keep that in mind. Like, that's all they know. But I think at some point, even myself, I've been to those places because you have to be there to know about it. I grow out of it. So after my first visit, I'm like, okay, what else can I do? Like, I'm done. I want to go somewhere else. Like, I want to go to Tajuca. You know, I want to go to what's that one where the steps is at? Lapa. You know what I mean? I want to go different places. I'm not gonna go to Postal 5, like what Marty said, go from the couch to Postal 5, repeat. I can't do that. But if that's all they know, that's it.
You want to level up,
brother. I'm gonna challenge Nakneezy. I was listening today, brother. I was listening to one of your broadcasts. It was about a year ago. And you went hard on them passport bros, man. You was like,
absolutely.
Y'all only going there and you getting the lowest of the low. You doing pay for play. Because the guy was saying how he didn't want black chicks. He's like, I don't want to get no black chicks. And if you've been listening, that's what we said. We said, why is the dudes, they won't have a girl with a baby mama here, but they'll go there and get a chick with a baby mama. So I'm asking you, man, why is it that guys are intimidated to have they won't have that girl here, but they'll go over there and get it? And I compared that to this. We say that when a black girl gets with a white guy, she don't have no attitude. But we doing the same thing in a sense, in reverse. So you went off on them passport bros. So I want to know why we go over there and get the low-hanging fruit, man.
I mean, look, I had a guy that used to work for me, right? Or he was on the staff, let's just say that. And he said he used to go to the Philippines. This was like mad years ago, like '09, something like that, right? So he said, "Yo, if I get one of them girls out there pregnant, I could raise the kid on a bag of rice." I said, "What?" So he was
Rice is life is their phrase.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's he was leveling down while phenotypically in his mind leveling up. So yeah, I have smoked for some passport bros. Look, every passport bro isn't the same, but what we don't take into account is that a lot of those girls are financially strapped over there, so they don't have a voice. He used to do this girl dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like poor girl from the village or whatever. And had the whole family like depending on him, and he used that as kind of like a power play. So I hope I answered your question, but it's really that they're dealing with poor people that they can manipulate, brother.
But not even that. Let's say this. I can understand dealing with poor people. But even what we talked about, like if you've been to Brazil, you know, like what Trini was saying, you got Postal 5 where all the blacks stay, but you got a whole beach. If you go to DR, you got a whole country, but they still just go to Sosua. Why do us as brothers only go to where, I don't want to say the hood rats, but I gotta say like the tigres, the chapeadores, the worst of the worst. And I said this before, Brad don't want them, and if we in DR, Jose and Jose don't want them, but we say we want them. Come on, we take you.
Yo, all right, let me jump back on that real quick. Pause. So I think it's because a lot of brothers don't want to compete. It's easy to go to Sosua dressed like an extra from a G Unit video, right? And then pull what they consider to be a bad chick. I'm from New York, so Dominicans are normal for me. If you're from New York or like Florida or something like that, it's easy work. It's nothing. But they go over there from the Midwest and some of these other places where they haven't had access to the so-called exoticals. And to them, that exotical is higher than what it is for us in New York or people that have been or from people from the big cities. You know what I'm saying? And I think they don't want to compete. They don't want to compete. They don't want to hit the gym. They want to go over there wearing T-skirts and fitted caps, and then they can get the same attention that they wouldn't get in America.
It's the candy store analogy.
Tell me
I'm
what
gonna just
Can I jump in for a minute?
Yes, sir.
I'm in Rio right now, bro. So I can speak to what the brother is saying. I know all the places he's talking about. Okay. First of all, we got to be patient with our brothers, man. We just started traveling, man. I mean, we're so judgmental, man. It's like these brothers in a new country. They don't know what's going on, bro. I mean, come on, man. We brand new to this. We virgins to this, bro. Of course, you're going to do what you're comfortable with. If you go somewhere, you see a bunch of brothers like Sosua. That's why brothers go to Sosua. They see other brothers. I mean, come on. Let's just call it what it is. That's why they go, because they see other brothers. And they're going to compete. Look, if I don't go to the place he's talking about, like Postal 5, I'm not going to meet no brothers. I go to Postal 5 not to get chicks. I go to Postal 5 so I can see some Americans. That's where I go when he's talking about like Mav. I go there so I can see the brothers. I don't go there to see the chicks. I don't pick no chicks up from Mav. Because all them prostitutes. I don't go there to pick up chicks. They do, but I don't. I go say what's up to the brothers. Because I ain't going to see no brothers till I go back to the United States. So
Mercy, what state do you live in? Where do you live in?
New Jersey.
All right.
So I say what's up to the brothers when I go there.
If you were to go to New Jersey and you said, I'm going to go down to Miami, would you have to go to the hood in Miami? Or would you say, man, I'm going to go to Miami Beach?
Well, I would go. Well, I've been to Miami, so I would go to Miami Beach. But you got to understand, everybody speak English. So you got communication. You know what I'm saying? See, you're in a different country. People speak Portuguese. So they really speak Portuguese. Everybody speaks Portuguese. They don't speak English. So if I want to speak English, I gotta go to Mavs. If I don't go to Mavs, I gotta be talking Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? So Miami's a little different because you got communication because everybody's speaking the same language. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
a challenge because Marty is in there also. So Marty,
Yeah.
if I want to find somebody that speaks English, do I gotta go to Postal 5 or where else can I go? And only say that because, and when I was using the analogy of going to New Jersey to Miami,
all right,
when I was moving from one state to the other state, I didn't say I gotta go where these black people are. Meaning I didn't look for the hood. I didn't look for that. I looked for.
See, I take more of a hardline approach. You know, fuck these niggas. These niggas don't get no grace from me. If you are not ready to travel, stay your ass where you from. Do not come to Brazil. No, I'm not talking about the guy in the panel. I'm just talking about in general. This is the problem. When guys go to these different countries, they think they're entitled to grace, much like the women in the country of USA, they're entitled to your servitude. No, it's you stand on your listen. If I'm going to a foreign country, I don't want to see none of you ninjas. I am not trying to speak English with none of you Americans. I don't want to meet none of y'all. I'm in a foreign country to have a foreign country experience. And that is part of the problem as to why dudes are having such a tough time because they're trying to bring America with them instead of saying, yo, I'm going to a new country. Let me take off the shiny belt buckles. Let me leave the fitted caps. Let me leave the P for P back in the States and go understand what it is to live like a local. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying? Like when they come to these foreign countries, they congregate in a concentrated area. And this is why the robberies happen. This is why you actually build bad stereotypes because those areas are highly infested with prostitutes. So when they see all these black guys in this area, the locals already know. And over a 30-year span of time, when a new guy comes like me, maybe the first reaction is, oh, that's another American. I don't want to deal with him. It makes the job tougher on me to actually get ahead because I'm fighting all these crazy stereotypes that I had nothing to do with, which is why I was like, I don't want nothing to do with COPA. I don't want nothing to do with Postal 5. I don't want to meet no Americans. I'm trying to meet Portuguese women that speak Portuguese and have Portuguese values. Now I mentioned earlier, it's a very racist country. I'll be fair and say that. But again, the M. Night Shyamalan twist, it is not necessarily from the white people. And it's not from the black dudes in Brazil. It's actually from the black women. So this is why I said to you before, if you're coming to Brazil having these Afro queen fantasies, think again. The whitewashing out here is on another level. I have so many crazy stories. If I'm gonna just give you the skimmy. You come to Brazil as a black man, don't go to Copa. If you want to go P for P all day and all night, go to Mass, I don't judge. Not at all. If that's what you want to do, cool. But if you actually want to like live the real experience, if you're doing 2 weeks, go to Leblon, go to Ipanema. Be where they have residential families and do residential things. You see what I'm saying? And you're going to have the best experience with mulattoes, mixed girls, or white women. You're not really going to have your African queen, so to speak, because really what it is, she's looking for basic bread at the very least. It don't even matter if you're making a ton of bread. It's not the point. The whitewashing here is cultural. It has nothing to do with your swagnificance. If you think you're going to come here with your shiny belt buckles and you're going to make it rain on somebody's forehead, and you think that's going to be enough to undo 50, 60, 80 years of programming, of Disney programming, of Italian prince coming to scoop her up out of poverty, you got another thing coming to you. Now, am I saying it's impossible? Absolutely not. If you learn the language, and I already know most ninjas are not going to do this, so I'm kind of preaching to dead wood to some degree. If you learn the language, you get your money together. Also, physically, let me get to camera number 2. Physically, you got to be on point down here. I'm going to tell you why. This is not Thailand where the men are 3 feet tall. This is a place where everybody works out. It looks like they eat rice and beans and rocks or something on both sides. The women look, built. The men are stay in the gym. So this is your competition. Now this is where your money only goes but so far, because I see a lot of dudes go to the beach, and it's not just Poster 5. It's everywhere. You could tell when they're American or from foreign countries. Pot bellies, pasty skin, bad health, just looking a whole lot of mess, expecting to get nice looking women. And then the third thing I'll say is a lot of these dudes have incel tendencies. They have no social skills. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to relate to people. All they know how to do is be an American when you go overseas. And this is another reason why a lot of dudes run into problems. They don't know how to build a social network. I look at it like this. If you've been to a place more than 3 times, you should have some friends. All right?
Exactly.
You should be able to say by the 3rd time, let's be honest now, you should have some friends that live in this country where you can pick up the phone and say, look, 4 weeks, I'll be there. Plan B, whatever that might be. And things should happen before you get there. So when you land, you're not being a Tinder warrior. You're not going to Colombia looking like a fool in Parqueadas. You understand? You're not trying to go, I don't even know if the clock tower is still functional, but you're not late night trying to hang out at the clock tower trying to post something. You're not doing the pay for play thing looking like a moron. By the 3rd time, you should have a realtor on deck that can get you the type of place that you need for you or your people. You should have some friends that you can call up and set up some things going on. You should have something. If every time you go to a different country, it's like the first time, you're the problem. And there's no grace I'm going to give you. I don't care what block you're from, what hood you're from. You're a real nigga back in the streets. Well, you're nobody here. You got to understand, when people come here, they always talk about where they're from. I'm from East Side, Peru, whatever. And I always say, it's not where you're from, it's where you ain't. You ain't in America no more. You are literally outnumbered 1,000,000 to 1. Last month, there was a kid, Brazilian. He was in Botafogo, right? They showed the video. I don't know if you guys seen this. Skinny dude hops off a motorcycle. It was 2 of them. Dude hops off the back, grabs the guy's cell phone. He's with his girlfriend. The guy was a little bit bigger, so he starts to fight the guy a little bit. It looked like he's, getting into a little tussle. Skinny dude pulled out a gun, shot him 2 times. He bled out. He's dead. Same thing happened to one dude in Cartagena for his little cheap gold chain. You gotta understand something, that y'all guys come here with the wrong concept of what this is. It's not pretty. It could be nice, but when you come with that energy of I'm American, I want to see and talk to other Americans, you're gonna have problems long term. If you're coming here to visit 2 weeks, then it's whatever, man. But I'm trying to tell you, long term, dudes are gonna have some issues. And it's not just Brazil. Look at Colombia. I was in Medellin. Can all tell you, when we was there back in 2012, it was like a paradise. I mean, all the stuff that you guys are running into in terms of scoping and getting robbed and getting shot in the streets and stabbed and all this, they didn't have that back then because we didn't have YouTube wasn't really blowing it up like that, to get all these extra people coming there. But we weren't coming there with the thought of we're going to toss money around. We actually came there and just tried to blend in. You see what I'm saying? And the people respected that. Like me, I'm not a fluent Portuguese speaker, but I am taking lessons, and all my friends are Portuguese. And they see me trying to speak the language, and they're helping me on my daily journeys. And more importantly, I'm building a social circle, so I'm giving value than trying to extract value.
Marty, I like what you said, not to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I
can be long-winded.
You said you trying to blend in. And I think a lot of brothers go out there to stick out. That may be a big difference. We always are trying to stick out where we at. And I think that gets us in trouble.
A lot.
You can stick out in a positive way by building that community. I think, when we go out there, when we're sticking out, we're trying to stick out for the wrong reasons. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than going to a dinner or going to maybe a El Mariachi concert, and you're with a group of Colombians, and all the women are looking like, who's this gringo? Right? It puts you in a different light in their mind.
Yeah.
They're going to receive you a lot more. Well, I'm sorry, they're going to have a better reception of you, right? Because you don't fit the standard of that sex tourist gringo, And I just want to touch real quick on what the brother was saying about going to places where people speak English. Man, I think everybody completely understands that, man, and I'm in agreement with that. But what I said earlier is that it's that level up, right? It's challenging yourself. It's going to listen. When I first started going to Colombia, my Spanish was horrible, and it's not the best now. But you know what? I had to challenge myself. I had to learn how to. I had to learn how to put some words together. And then when I was using the translator, I had to realize, oh man, Spanish is a different type of language, and it's very direct. So even when I did use the translator, I was speaking so American that it wasn't translating correct because I wasn't speaking to people directly, So there's going to be a lot of challenges that you face when you're traveling, right? But when you got that dog in you, you're going to find a way. And I just encourage all guys who are traveling, we've got to push ourselves, and we've got to want to find a way to win.
Hey, I'm about to be out, y'all. I don't want to just leave without showing the
No,
proper
sir.
respect. But Marty McFly was cooking. Play with a Passport came through the spices on top of it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate these dudes. I'm just gonna piggyback on them and then be out. Sticking out like a sore thumb, right? There's a good way to stick out and a bad way. I stick out in certain countries because I speak the language and I'm somebody that's integrated into a social circle. So me sticking out is like, yo, who's this black dude that speaks Thai that's so respectful and understands the difference between a high Y and a mid Y, or speaking Spanish and still having a little bit of an accent, but they say, yo, where you learn Spanish from? Blah, blah. You get access that you do not get when you go down there with the ugly American act. The yo, I'm from, Crenshaw Mafia, blah, 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 worship me, I'm American. What you're going to get is you're going to get shunned, and you might even get targeted. That whole America worship is finished. They will, show you love if you show their culture respect and love back. Actually, first, because you're a guest in their country. You know what I'm saying? So again, social circles, play with a passport, and I always talk about this, and also language. Even if you speak horrible, whatever language it is, you're gonna get a buy-in from those people that's gonna give you access to places that you would never have if you went down there as an ugly American. Peace, brothers.
Facts.
Wait, Nat me. I got one question.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to try to answer this for me. I think what they were saying was guys want to be around people who speak English because maybe they're more comfortable.
Right.
Is that a problem with the blacks? Before you came, we were talking about this. For instance, I can pay $20 more to go to a higher class hotel, deal with a whole different group of people. Yeah, I can pay $20 more if I want to do a pay for play and get a whole different class. What is it about? Because it seems to be, I'm saying, brothers, it seems to be the blacks like us that are trying to skim everything off the top, and we lose. Why is that we're doing that? And are we just getting the result that we got? That we just picking the low hanging fruit? Are we just so uncomfortable to go outside of that's why we lose?
Brother, I'm like I said, I think I said on another stream, when I'm in these other countries, I'm like a white woman in an elevator or a white woman clutching her purse when I see these Negroes.
That's funny.
I don't want to be around them. and I love my brothers. Like I roast passport bros, but at the end of the day, y'all my brothers still. You see what I'm saying? But certain dudes, I just know that because I know my people, even I love my people, but sometimes I don't want to be around them because they're gonna make me look crazy, and I don't want to be a part of it. So the low hanging fruit is a real thing. To a certain extent, we have to let these brothers learn how to travel from their own mistakes. But nowadays, your mistakes can be deadly, especially when you choose some of the places that they're going. So I can just see them from afar, maybe give them the black man acknowledgement head nod from across the street, but don't come near me. And I gotta fit it on in here. Don't come near me with your pele and your big baggy ass jeans. I don't want to be a part of that. That's why literally no one that see me in Thailand see me with anybody because I don't hang around people because they're going to destroy my experience. There you go, bro.
Appreciate you.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question,
Yes,
bro?
sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, man, I just wanted to be clear, straight some things out. I don't hang around these brothers. I don't want you to think I hang out with them. You know, I said I might stop by and say what's up, you know, every now and then. But that's just me, man. You know, I just like to, you know, communicate with brothers. I mean, I like the brotherhood. Now, we hanging out? Are we? No. And then you gotta understand this. These brothers are like this here, man. These brothers had their pants hanging here. They like the flash here. So what, you think they're gonna change when they go to another country? No, they're gonna wear that jewelry like they wear here. They're gonna try to be flashy like they are here. I mean, don't we have a ghetto part of our culture? We act like we don't have a ghetto part of our culture. I mean, we do.
It doesn't mean we have to embrace it though.
Oh, I'm not saying we're embracing it, but they're gonna be the same. See, I'm not ghetto here, so I'm not ghetto over there. You see what I'm saying? If you
Brother Mercy, the problem is like I've been traveling for Arim. Those from Brooklyn know what Arim mean. So I was traveling before YouTube. My first trip to Thailand, people were still using AOL internet cafes, and the first iPhone just came out. So I was traveling before the internet, and the internet is actually what gave access to the undesirables to travel to mess up the image of black men worldwide. Those who are seasoned travelers know how to move when they travel. And I don't really like that know how to move thing. But I get where you're coming from because I used to be like that before. You see a black man, you approach, how you doing, brother? Where you from? Blah, blah, blah. But now you're getting a bunch of dudes that you wouldn't speak to in your own neighborhood. So if I don't speak to you back home, I'm not going to speak to you there. And yeah, there is a level of prejudging someone based on how they look. But, you know, look, I'll call it, instead of prejudice, I'll call it pattern recognition. I know a Pookie when I see one. I know what they do. I know how they act. And you'll get into a fight dealing with some of these guys because they still going with that American attitude and thinking, yo, I could shoot the hands, you know what I'm saying? Let's shoot the five. No, these dudes are stabbing. Okay. These dudes are making phone calls, and then somebody on a motorcycle with one facing the other way is all. That's the last thing you hear when you see. Brrr, that's it. People don't realize that. And that's why I stay away. So look, I'm all for the brotherhood, but the new brotherhood is something that I want no parts of. I think we got to do better.
Yeah.
And Mercy Justice, I don't want you to think that anybody was coming at you. I think with the panel, we just may use what you say as an example because there's other people that's listening that may agree with you or disagree. And I like to have that opinion expressed so they can say, oh, well, that's a diverse opinion. That's how we do. So never feel that we're attacking you. We just we all come together so we can express something different, so we can learn. I hope that when we walk away, that we can say, "Oh, that was a good point, man. He said something good." I can take away, I can learn from that. So that's what I'm really hoping for.
I wanted to piggyback on something Nak had mentioned before you left, talking about knowing how to move. And a lot of cats, they have a misconception or a misinterpretation of knowing how to move. You know what I'm saying? And knowing how to move is me being in Bogota, Colombia, and let's say I'm meeting a young lady, or I'm just kind of conversing with a dude at the cigar lounge, and he tells me, "Hey man, so where you staying at, man? I'm staying in Nusicon." You know, me meeting a young lady, me meeting a woman. Hey, where do you live at? She tells me she stays in Chico, right? Right. I immediately know that's Strata 6.
Parque 93. That's where I
Yeah,
stay.
yeah. I immediately know, boom, that's a Strata 6, right? You know, I'm looking at the way she's dressed, right? I'm looking at her jeans. Are those jeans, are those clothing that she picked up off a street vendor, or did she go to a mall and pick that up? Right? Because people who know Colombia understand that there's only certain stores in Colombia. Like this ain't no the mall of Minneapolis. You know, they got the same stores in pretty much all the cities, right? It's paying attention to her WhatsApp or her Instagram stories. Where is she going to eat? Right? Is she going into these 4 or 5 star restaurants? If she's going into a 4 or 5 star restaurant, what is she doing for a living that she can afford to go in this 4 or 5 star restaurant? You know what I mean? So, but these are things that you as a traveler, you should be picking up on these things. Again, that's information that comes to you, and it can come to you in certain ways. And a lot of fellas, they're not focused in on getting the information, you know, and they're not asking questions. A lot of people, and I'm not just talking about brothers, just travelers in general, don't ask questions. Right. And so when you don't ask questions, and then when people are talking, you're not listening to hear the information, right? You're going to be the same traveler that you were the first time that you traveled, that you are today. And that's not the way it should be when you're traveling. You should be growing as an individual and as a traveler. I'm not the same traveler from 2014. I'm a completely different traveler. I move a completely different way than I did when I first started traveling. But I also had some, if you want to call them mentors, some people that helped me when I landed. You know, shout out to Cash in Colombia, shout out to Marlon. Right. So, but when they left, I had to start all over again. I had to start from scratch, you know? And so over time, as travelers, we have got to learn to stick to the fundamentals, building community. A lot of people think that when you're building community, you're having to infiltrate a social circle, right? That's not the way it works, right? You're being selective on who you are befriending, right? By me befriending Fearless, it's not me trying to get into his social circle, right? I'm just attached to him because he was a good dude. We had a vibe, we had a connection. As I was talking to him, I was vetting him in my mind, right? I was profiling him as I'm speaking to him, because now I can gauge what kind of traveler Fearless is, right? So these are just small little things that a person like me uses when I'm traveling, when I'm interacting with people. And as I think the guy Marty and Nak said, hey, if I go into a cigar lounge and Ronan is sitting directly across from me, I'll say hello and that's it. That's how I'm moving.
Brothers, with that said, I'm going to be closing this down. We've been going 2.5 hours. Marty, I hope that you listened to the beginning of the show when I did play a disclaimer. That disclaimer said I can use your information. So I will be cutting up what you said, my brother, and making a short out of it. So just letting you know, you gave me your permission when you came on. So you dropped some gems, and I'm going to cut it up and let the other people hear those gems. But I appreciate everyone for coming on, man. It was some great information. Make sure next week you're there. And I think me and Ronan are going to do some things live during the week.
Lunchtime specials.
Yeah, we got some lunchtime
Quick,
specials.
down and dirty hours. Just about an hour.
It's going to be about an hour, 45 minutes. We're getting right to the point, down and dirty. One quick subject and in and out. So I appreciate you guys staying with us. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Ronan, do you have any parting words for the people, my brother?
I mean, at the end of the day, all these brothers made very valid points in different areas and different countries that they're in, with the wealth of knowledge of being boots on the ground. I hope the people that are playing this back tomorrow or weeks later pay attention to the gems that were dropped on the panel, you know, and take heed to, you know, not only how to move, but, you know, appreciate your position in those countries as an American traveler when it comes to dating and prioritizing learning the language and getting within the culture and establishing relationships and long-term friendships. That's the only proper way to move.
Fellas, I'll play this because if you ever in a car driving with a young lady and she stops abruptly to jump out, you need to be careful. This is a warning video for you guys that travel. If you're in a car with a girl and she abruptly stops, you be careful. Just watch this. With that said, brothers, get your passport, man. Get your passport. No ninjas welcome, but get your passport. Other than that, guys, we out of here, man.
Thank you.
All right, fellas. Where we at?